What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is CHEATS.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Female youth pastor cheats with work husband. So guys, the story is coming to us from In My Opinion podcast. You can go check out the original video. This is only a portion of the video and may lack some context. Now I'm going to do my best to kind of give you guys some backstory on what we're about to listen to. We're about to listen to a woman who at the time was a youth pastor, and she was also married to another pastor and ended up cheating on her husband with a coworker. Now we're going to get into exactly when it started to happen. Before this, she gives some context. She got married young. She wasn't really attracted to the man who she was getting married to. She was heavily influenced by her church. And so what happens? Well, this happens. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So I'm dying on the inside. And then I came out of work for a bit after I finished my course. I said, let me raise my little one, you know. So I went back to work when she was about 17 months because, you know, the new academic year.
Yeah.
And guys, I meet someone at work.
Oh, well, how work husband?
Work husbands are of the devil. They are of the devil. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So I was gonna ask, like, so your marriage then at this point?
It was a mess. It was
You
a
were still
mess.
married, right?
I was still married.
Right, okay.
It was we were not seeing eye to eye. We were arguing.
You guys always living together?
Living together. We would argue like after church. Like if we had a church meeting and I'd go, he'd be like, why would you go? Why'd you take the baby there for? Like all that kind of stuff. Like sometimes he would wake up on a Sunday and be like, I don't want to go to church today. And I'm like,
a whole pastor.
but we're the youth pastors. What do you mean? Or like we had like this camp that we did every year for the kids for the summer, a week away, like for them to focus on the Lord. And I remember, you know, we were starting doing the advertisements and I was like, oh, so babe, like youth camp. And he's like, I'm not going. I was like, wait, what do you mean? He was like, I'm not interested. I was like, wait, what do you mean? We're youth pastors. And for him, he just didn't care. So that's what I'm saying in terms of, because of growing up in a Ugandan household where submission came easy. I watched my mum submit to my dad. Instead of challenging him, I'm trying to clean up all the mess. So it's like I paid for his spot on the trip without him knowing. And then he came, he preached, and then they gave him all the validation. Wow, that was an amazing sermon. And he was so...
And you're thinking...
and I'm sitting there like, hey...
Oh, that's so
and people
powerful.
don't know this stuff.
That was so powerful.
People don't know this stuff. So when I say the marriage was suffering, and then he put on weight on top of that. Like he got to over 20 stones, guys.
By the way, guys, this man who she married was her first. She was a virgin before meeting this guy. Is the background, the part that I don't know if they're going to say it later on, so I want to make sure I say that. And so now she's talking about how he gained weight and she began to lose even more attraction on top of the arguments. Let's keep listening.
So, Kali, why are you touching me?
No, it was not even attraction.
He just touched me.
I'm just making sure you're attentive, that's all.
Listen. Stay in shape, guys, basically. But like, you know, like how Marvin
what's
said...
20 stone look like? I'm not
kg, I don't know what 20 stones is
20
kg.
So basically, I'm about 14.
And me, I'm about 10, 11.
You can't be 10 or 11.
You're not
How
10
many
or
stones
11.
am I?
But
I'm 10 stones.
So I'm about 12.
No.
You're definitely bigger than me, by the way.
You're
And
about
he tapped me.
13.
No,
I think you're probably 13.
I'm at 12
Me and you are a bit
stones.
the same. Maybe I'm a bit heavier.
I think you're
a bit heavier.
A little bit.
But no, 20 stone is big, bro. Like, big.
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
big.
what I'm saying.
I'm
That's
trying to
mad.
think
Yeah, that's
clothes-wise.
I've got
He was basically
I've got it.
XXL.
I've got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
XXL, what? Guys, you got to keep in shape, man. You got to keep in shape for yourself, for your own health. Of course, you look more attractive, not only to other women, to your woman. If you have a woman, if you're married, it's important. Yes, drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Everybody gets coffee over here. Let's keep listening.
XXL.
Yeah, XXL.
Yeah, if you say
Sometimes
he's
even
about
triple X.
Me, I'm a medium. What do you wear? Large.
Big boy.
Yeah, we got that.
If you say he's about
Trousers.
14,
What
20
size
is
do you wear
mad.
trousers?
I'm
34.
34, yeah.
He was 40.
Hey!
42.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember because I would obviously buy clothes sometimes.
All right, so she said 42 waist. 42 waist, man. He was a big boy, right? He was getting bigger. She was losing attraction. I want to take this opportunity to say, if this is you, man, if you're in a place where you need to tighten up, get yourself together, lose some weight, lean out, you got to do it. That's not to excuse what she did, of course, but can you help increase the chances that your partner finds you less attractive? Yes. And I got to serve it hot and strong here because I know some guys are going to be mad about this. They may not say it, but yes, you need to lose that weight, bro. And if you need help, of course, check out the sponsor of today's video, Mac Work. Hey guys, I'm here with a friend of mine, Mac Work. He's a very well-known lifestyle specialist and fitness coach here in the Los Angeles area. Guys, I wouldn't bring somebody here who I haven't already vetted myself. He's changed many people's lives, including my own, when he helped me lose over 60 pounds in 4 months. I know what you're thinking. It sounds way too, they don't believe me, bro.
Nah. I know. When you said it,
Good thing I brought the receipts. Good thing I brought the facts. You guys can see, if you don't want to take my word for it, because I have my pictures here on the screen. He has you have so many of those before and after photos, but don't just take my word for it, man. Take a look at these insane before and after photos. The first time I stumbled on your IG page, I think it was like 2021. I was looking at these photos and I thought all of them were fake. I was just like, no, he's doing something here with these like photos, Photoshop. Do you Photoshop any of these photos? Could you let the people know?
No, sir. We don't Photoshop. We tag and we make sure that it's the real person there so that if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask them.
Could you explain to the people real quick, Mac, what comes with the online program is what I really want to highlight here. The online fitness program.
Well, the thing I think that is most important is that it's not just a program. You actually have access to me. The program comes with meal planning. It comes with weekly check-ins so that we're looking at your progress week to week, before and after pictures. And as I mentioned at the beginning, being able to text me, being able to have that communication is very, very important to build the rapport. And then, of course, weekly workouts where you can do the workouts on your own time because everybody's schedule is different. So that's the beauty of the program. Keep it very simple. And, we make sure that we get the results. Even if they sound a little crazy, right?
A lot of people may think like the online training thing isn't as effective as working with somebody one-on-one, but it's 2023, man. Get on this, capitalize on this, man. I brought him on here for a reason, to help you like he's helped me, guys. Make sure you hit that link, pin to the top of the comment, and sign up with Mac Work. He will change your life. He's changed mine. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Welcome back, guys. Female pastor cheats on her husband with work husband. Let's keep listening.
It was a lot. So, but remember you said when your pastor introduced you to someone, you're like, I'm not even attracted to them. Now when I look back, I'm like, I wasn't even really attracted.
It was legacy
to the guy.
love.
But it was like, I found someone that loves me, that wants me. I also had low self-esteem, so I was like, I've met someone that loves me.
And the Caribbean guys, they got bars, when they start whispering in your ear.
So why I said, maybe they whispered in your ear before.
Size 20.
So the marriage was,
42 weeks.
it was a struggle. Yeah. So it's like, I'm talking to my pastor. I'm like, I'm not really attracted to him anymore. And he's like, these things happen. You just got to ride through it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just really struggling. I'm just like, I've lost my identity. Like, who's Lois underneath all of these titles? I'm not attracted to my man. We're arguing all the time. I've had a baby, so I'm exhausted. I'm also a teacher, so that's exhausting. And then I've got to look after youth on Sundays as well. It was a lot. I met this guy at my workplace.
Husband.
Guys.
I can't let her get away with that, man. When you have women telling these stories of how they cheated, just notice all the excuses they give. Notice the excuses. I lost my identity. Oh, I had so much on my plate. You wanted those things. And she says, now that I look back, I really didn't like that guy. Why, with all the excuses, you cheated, you shouldn't have.
Starts with the lunch, innit? We go to lunch
He was
together.
even bringing me Greg's in the morning.
Wow. What was he bringing you?
Oh, just a little chicken bake.
Chicken bake. Chicken bake is not bad.
Chicken bake.
Chicken bake.
I see that. I despise them.
I don't even eat them no more.
Husband.
I don't even eat chicken bakes no more because of that.
Because of work husband.
Yeah, but no, that
Kali
whole
is- have you
situation
been a
was
work
mad.
No, but I've seen work husbands in action, bro. Like they
You're
put
one
in
of them.
work.
He
No,
put in
I don't-
work,
I do
and
not
he
do
knew,
it.
he knew I'm married. Obviously, I'm married as well. I know as well, but because it was all in secret, it festered quickly. You get it? Because no one knew. It was our secret. So he'd come to my classroom, we'll talk, we'll chill. Before you know it, he's walking me to the train station. Before you know it, he's calling me in the morning. We're speaking after work, all of that. And now half term comes and it feels like, damn, I want to be at work.
Oh, man. She wanted to be at work so she could spend more time with her work husband. And that term is so disrespectful, man. I mean, for the sake of these videos, it's cool, but women who joke around like that, and if that's your woman, you should check that shit, bro. But the work became her new home. Unbelievable. Let's keep listening.
I miss being at work. Can you imagine?
Wow.
I miss being at work. I'm like,
Those men, they can't see through women. The women that need.
Gwe. And then work husbands, they're like predators. They're just there.
But me, I also should
They are
have
like what
known.
we call agua, snake.
Why is
They
this
want
guy
to-
laughing?
Me, I also should have known.
Snake, mush low.
They'll be like, and then
They
that
will
one
go-
day catch you vulnerable. So you've just had a fight with your husband or something. Is everything okay at home?
Guys, that's what happened.
Tell the story that
Literally,
maybe
not
from
like
a real life.
he's literally
let's
saying,
listen.
as in,
Yeah, let's hear it.
me and hubby would argue. I'd come to work in a mood. What's wrong? Are you all right? And I'm like, I just don't want to talk about it. They'd be like, no, it's cool. You know, you can talk to me. Before you know it, I'm opening up about my marriage.
Hi.
That was downfall number one.
Big downfall.
Now, notice how, of course, they're going to put this on the guy and be like, oh, he was so... Work husbands are so cunning. Their powers, they're irresistible. The woman cannot resist the powers of the work husband, especially if he's seasoned and has experience, if he's got game. But how about this for a rule? You shouldn't be talking about your struggles with your husband with another man. With another man. You shouldn't. If that man's not a therapist who isn't trying to help you work through that problem and you're paying him for his time or that's his job, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be talking to other men about your marital problems. That's emotional cheating. So could it be that this is when the cheating began? Let's keep listening.
Then I will never forget this day. Oh, hi, I'm going to really bait myself out. Basically, he walked me to the train station, yeah? So obviously, I've been saying no this whole time. I can't do anything. He just turns to me one day and he goes, please, like, can we just do something? And I'm like, no, I can't. He's like, please. The guy starts describing what he wants to do to me.
Wow. And you're thinking, this ain't been done to me before.
So this man started to describe what he would do to her if he had the opportunity. And she stood there and listened, knowing damn well women fall in love with words. Just the words alone can turn them on. Let's keep listening.
Guys,
Tantalizing.
wait.
Kissing, not peck.
As in, my body responded.
Of course.
And it had been so long
Frequency.
since that had happened to me.
Frequency.
Where just words alone, I'm standing there and I'm like, hi.
Hey.
You're hot
Soaked.
inside. But it's cold outside.
Literally, but it's cold outside. And I'm literally like, now I'm really in a pickle now. I'm really in a pickle. So I go to my pastor and I'm like, I
Went to
sit him
pastor
down.
again?
Guys, I went to the pastor.
Banang, yeah.
And I said, pastor, I even went to two men, by the way. I went to two.
Instead of you sending dilemma to the podcast.
This is years ago. The podcast was not
You're
here.
correct.
I would have put it in. So I go to both pastors at different points and I'm saying to them, I'm like, guys, there's a guy that I've met and honestly, if I had an opportunity, I'd sleep with him. I would.
Wow.
Like, and if no one would find out, I would. Like, that is how far gone I am. I was that honest.
You were gone.
One pastor
If she actually did do that, you got to give her props for keeping it that real. She tried to at least warn everybody about what she was about to do.
said, you need to tell your husband so you can protect your marriage. One pastor said, as long as you don't do anything, don't say anything because you're going to bring as in, he was like, you're going to exasperate your husband's insecurities.
Insecurity, yeah.
And it's going to cause an issue. He was basically trying to say these moments happen, like someone comes and you're attracted to them and you're like, rah, if I hadn't met then maybe I would. But then you're like, okay, it's fine. You can appreciate it for what it is. So he was like, you're in the wilderness right now, Lois. Just get out of it.
No water.
Yeah, but he was like, whatever you do, don't say anything. As long as you've not done anything, because trust me, it will cause a problem. So I took the first pastor's advice and I went home. I told my husband, I said, and I didn't tell him obviously everything. I just said, listen, there's someone I met at work and I'm kind of attracted to him. Straight away, what were you attracted to?
My
What?
God.
And I'm like, I don't know, it's just his vibe, you know, like he's just cool.
Wow.
And I'm like, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere though. Like I'm not going anywhere. I just want to
shaking.
tell you so I can protect our
You might
marriage.
as well have gone somewhere.
Honestly, I'm shaking.
Guys, I look back now and I'm like, that was probably the worst thing I could have done because before you know it, I had a curfew. I had to be home at a certain time. He would check my phone when I wouldn't know. He sent one of his boys to my school. The boy took pictures of my work colleagues to try and find out which one it was. I didn't know until he confessed to me at some point.
Wow.
And I was like, right. So now the marriage is really struggling. And so guess what?
Tense.
This other man is what? Forbidden fruit. And we know what forbidden fruit does. Yeah? I'm telling you. So because now my husband is really like, right, you know, putting it on me. Yeah, militant. Now I'm ducking and diving even more. I'm trying to hide even more. Everything has to be within the time constraints. Yeah, it's mad.
In the school toilets.
Before you know it, we're lipsing. Guys, I will never forget the date.
So not peck, kissing.
With tongue.
Tongue.
So there she said her coworker became forbidden fruit. And I'll say this. The right thing was to check the situation as the husband and say, this thing you're doing right now is going to ruin our marriage. And I think where this guy messed up and a lot of guys mess up is they don't keep it simple, let the woman know what it is, and then wait for her to make the decision herself and act accordingly. As in, if she decides to continue entertaining, crossing boundaries, then you leave her. Unfortunately, from what it sounds like here, the husband went like full detective mode. You over there setting curfews, random calls at random times, sending people to spy on her. Too much energy. The more effort you're putting in trying to keep your woman from cheating, the more that she'll be more tempted to cheat. Now, does that mean she should? No, but that's just the way these things work. You have to be a man who means what you say, and you have to find the strength within yourself to stand on that. Doesn't mean you can't say, if she comes to you and says, yo, I was talking to a friend of mine about our situation. You're like, yo, you're talking to another man about what's happening in our marriage. Why are you doing that? And if she continues to cross boundaries, and of course, you got to find it within you to leave.
In the school toilets.
Before you know it, we're lipsing. Guys, I will never forget the date.
So not peck, kissing.
With tongue. Tongue.
And remember, I'm not that girl. I was not lipsing in school. Like, my husband was my first everything. As in, even lipsing, he was my first everything. So I'd not even known another man.
Another tongue.
Another tongue. Anything. Another touch from a man. So the first time I lipsed him, I remember my mind was like, what are you doing? What have you done? Like, what? And
But
then,
you were enjoying.
But I was enjoying. And then I go home, I deal with what I'm feeling, and then it passes. And then you want to go back and do it again and again and again. Before you know it, it progressed, guys.
Wow.
Full on cheated on my husband.
All right, guys, there you go. That's it. And this is the time when I'll usually read the comments from the video, but I don't have any here. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. I'm curious to know, what do you think? As always, leave your comments down below. And I'll say this. I do agree with what she says, which I won't play, but I'll do my best to kind of explain about the overbearing influence of the spiritual leaders she had around her. I think a lot of religious institutions, especially Christians, as somebody who believes in God and was raised up in the church, I've seen this myself. They pressure a lot of young people to get married early because it's like, hey, it's better you're married than out here busting cheeks. And while you may agree and even find like biblical references to support that, one area I feel like a lot of religious institutions fail young people is by not really educating them on the reality of marriage, making sure that they understand what it is, making sure that they aren't approaching it from like a modern mindset, the women being modern women, the men being men who aren't ready to take on responsibility. And guys, I know this is not just my experience. If you grew up in the church, you know a bunch of couples who got married while they were young and they didn't understand the gravity of the situation. They didn't understand what they were getting themselves into. It often doesn't work out, especially in today's modern day. Most people today don't even understand how difficult marriage is, how selfless you have to be, the type of pressure you're going to go through, and how you're going to be tested at every level, the importance of finding somebody who you're compatible with. As always, I'm also curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Listen, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.